Hello NFL fans and welcome back to the Wall of NFL channel. In this video today, I'm going to be giving an overview of all the news and everything that's happened in the NFL over the last week. The biggest piece of news this week has definitely got to be the Raiders defensive end Carl Nassib coming out as gay this last week. I think that this is big news for the NFL as it's starting to show that you don't have to be a hyper-masculine male to play in the NFL, and that stereotype is definitely leaving as the years go by. I think that's a pretty good thing, and it shows that anyone can play in the NFL as long as they are good enough. Carl Nassib has also donated $100,000 to the Trevor Project, which is an LGBTQ plus youth support for anyone contemplating suicide, which I think is a really good cause. And the NFL has pledged to match that donation as well. And it really shows that the NFL is really trying to be more diverse, not only with its sexuality, but also racially over this last year or two as well. And I think that is really awesome of the NFL. Michael Sam made big headlines a few years ago as he came out as gay while playing for Missouri in college, and he was drafted by the Rams in the 7th round, but unfortunately he never made it past the practice squad. So well done to Carl Nassib for coming out as gay, and I think it's pretty awesome that there's a bit more diversity in the NFL. Another big piece of news that has come out of the NFL this week has got to be the COVID vaccine rules. So over this last week or so, there's been a lot of pushback from players who don't want to be vaccinated, including Cole Beasley, the wide receiver for the Bills, who is probably the biggest advocate against it, who said actually that he is willing to retire over getting the vaccine. His quarterback Josh Allen, also at the Bills, has also been against vaccination, and Sam Darnold for the Panthers and Joe Mixon, the Bengals running back, have also been some of the loud advocates. Of course, there's been many more, and I think there are only a few teams that have over 50% of their squad vaccinated at the moment. The rules for coaches at the moment who aren't vaccinated are pretty harsh. You're not allowed to coach on the field anymore, and you will have to coach you won't be able to coach from the sideline during games anymore, and you'll have to coach from afar during practice. And that's really difficult if you're a coach. Players, on the other hand, there are rules that are a bit kinder to them, but they'll have to wear masks through all the buildings and everywhere around the team facility. They won't be able to leave the hotel or the campus where they're staying when they go on away games. And also, they will have to take daily tests, which is not quite what they want to be doing, of course. Players that are vaccinated can go out of the team facility and they will only have to take a test once every 2 weeks. So the rules are a lot more free if you have been vaccinated. Cole Beasley made the point that if the players that have been vaccinated can bring the COVID to him who hasn't been, and that could be a real problem, which I kind of agree with, because it does make sense that it would be difficult in his situation if he's not allowed to go anywhere because he hasn't been vaccinated, and yet players could be bringing the virus to him just because they have been vaccinated. And it's it's not very fair on him really, but I can see also the point that everyone needs to get vaccinated to try and prevent that COVID risk. Trying to keep every player and every coach and every team healthy is really important for the NFL so that they don't have to postpone games or put games off for later, which was a big problem for some teams, especially the Ravens, Steelers and Titans last year. And also for every team had to go through a really difficult time with that. Hopefully in 2021 there won't be as many delays that COVID causes, but we'll have to see. I think the vaccination will help with that, but we'll see. There has been a lot of talk this week, especially around contracts, and quarterback contracts at that. We know, of course, that Aaron Rodgers has wanted some commitment from Green Bay for a while now. Since they drafted Jordan Love last year, he's not been happy and really threw a spanner in the works, in his words, when he won the MVP last season. And it was a real problem for the Packers, who actually have clearly been wanting to push Aaron Rodgers out of the door over the next year or so since they drafted Jordan Love. And I think Aaron Rodgers has got one more season potentially in Green Bay before they kick him out. And I think there will be a trade potentially around March next off-season, and it will see where Aaron Rodgers goes. But Whether he plays this year or not, we're yet to see, but I'm pretty sure within the next 12 months, he's definitely going to be on a new team. So in the end, I think Aaron Rodgers won't get a new contract, but he definitely does want some more commitment if he's going to be staying at Green Bay. Now, the 2018 draft class has finally reached that point where they can sign big mega deals. So Baker Mayfield, who was number 1 overall in that draft, Josh Allen, they also have Lamar Jackson and Sam Darnold looking for deals as well. I think the 2 players that could potentially get those big $40 million deals are Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. But this week, Josh Allen has said that he wants a team-friendly deal, in fact, so that the Bills can keep on competing. So I think that he won't really go over $30 million if he wants a team-friendly deal. If it does go over $30 million, I would say that that's not quite a team-friendly deal. But if he doesn't take above 40, I would say that the Bills did pretty well to not pay that much for him. I think Lamar Jackson won't get over 40 either because he's quite a niche quarterback and there will be very few teams that he could succeed at in the future if he was to move. So I think he and the Ravens are a perfect fit. With that being said, I think the Ravens hold more of the cards. So I think that Lamar Jackson won't get $40 million either, especially while his mum is negotiating the deal. Although you never know, maybe she is some kind of negotiating tyrant and will demand a massive contract, but we'll have to see with that as well. I think Baker Mayfield has shown that he's not quite the level of Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, and he's never been in the talk for an MVP, whilst Josh Allen has and Lamar Jackson did win an MVP back in 2019. So I think Baker will garner around $30 million as well, maybe similar to what Josh Allen will get if he does go for a team-friendly deal, but I think $30 million is still quite a lot, and I personally wouldn't go over $25 million for him because this is $25 million per year, by the way, sorry, and I really don't think Baker Mayfield is anything more than a game manager. Sam Darnold will still have to wait until next season to see because this is really his prove-it year. He finally has a new coach in Matt Rule and some weapons that will actually support him as he never got that in his time at the Jets. So we'll have to wait till next year for Sam Darnold and we'll wait and see what happens over the next few weeks. I do think Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and potentially Baker Mayfield might get a deal this year. Baker Mayfield's agent has actually said that he is trying to get a deal done before the season starts. So for this final piece of news, I'm going to be talking about the Xavier Howard rumours. Xavier Howard last season was fantastic. He was really dominant for the Dolphins and had a great year. And it's got to be said that he really does deserve to be paid like one of the highest cornerbacks in the league. However, he's actually not even being paid like the highest cornerback on his team. Byron Jones on the other side of the defense, he is being paid better and was actually signed for a bigger contract last season. Xavier Howard did sign a contract as well last season and has got another 4 years left on his current deal, which makes you think, wait, so why does he want a new deal? Well, of course he's not being paid as much as he feels like he should be. But if he got a new contract last year and wants a new one this year, it really puts the Dolphins in a tricky spot because if the Dolphins sign him to a new deal, it's going to mean that the players for the Dolphins want a new deal every single year. Head coach Brian Flores has actually said that he's not drawing a line in the sand and saying no contract, but he's saying it does set a precedence if he does get a new one that the Dolphins aren't really willing to do. So we'll have to see whether he gets a new one. I personally think he won't because that is ridiculous to get a brand new contract every year almost that he seems to be wanting. And it also seems strange that he wants one when he's still got 4 years left on his deal. I think that means though that Xavier Howard might be wanting a trade. And it makes you think, okay, so what teams might be in for him? So the Cardinals, the Jets and the Seahawks are being talked about as good spots for him, and the Cardinals seem most in for him at the moment. I think they want a big trade for a cornerback as they lost their cornerback Patrick Peterson, who was one of the best over the last few years. Patrick Peterson's now at the Vikings, so them looking for a replacement at the Cardinals would be a good idea as well. The Jets, they aren't very good on any side of the ball at the moment, and Robert Saleh, the head coach, who just came from the 49ers, might be looking to solidify that defense a little bit more. I think the Seahawks as well, they're always in for a big splashy trade, so that's another reason why their name's been thrown around. I also think the Falcons and the Saints would be good options for them, as they have big cornerback woes, especially the Saints, who at the moment only really has Marshawn Lattimore at cornerback, and their other corner, Adebo, it's looking like, well, he was just drafted as a rookie for the second round, so he might need a bit more development before starting in the NFL. So Xavier Howard would be brilliant there as well. But both the Falcons and the Saints have real cap troubles at the moment, so it looks like they won't be able to make a new deal for Xavier Howard, as he wants a lot of money. So thank you so much guys for watching this week's video about all the news around the NFL, and please do check out wallofnfl.com and all the social media pages in the description to keep up to date with all of the things that are happening with Wall of NFL at the moment. Please do comment down below what videos you would like me to make for the future, and hopefully I'll make those in the next couple of weeks for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe as well.